start. Thank God not a lot of people showed up. Tired, but okay. So the first question, 729. ABC costing. It will show up on your midterm. ABC versus traditional. So make sure you know the difference. First question. Okay, so this company has ABC costing, ABC system. It has following manufacturing activity areas, related driver used as allocation base and allocation and cost allocation rate. So there are 5 different activities, and they gave you the cost driver. They gave you the cost allocation rate. It says during the month 100 units were produced, requiring 2 setup. Each unit consists of 19 parts and used 1.5 direct labor hours and 1.25 machine hours. Direct labor cost is $100 per finished unit. All other manufacturing costs are classified as conversion cost. ABC costs for research and marketing costs are $140. All other non-manufacturing ABC costs are $320 per unit. So the first one asks you, calculate the manufacturing cost per unit for the period. So, there are 5 different activities. Machine setup. What's the second one? Material handling. Machine. This one is assembling and inspection. Inspection. So the first cost driver is number of setup, and I told you they had 2 setup. Each setup is $50, so that's $100 for machine setup. 2 setup per $50 per setup. So $100. 2 setup. The second one is number of parts. So it says each unit consists of 19 parts. And how many units they produce? 100 units. So that's 100 units times 19 parts per unit. And their cost is 5 cents per part. Make sure it cancels. Yep. That gives you $9.50. The third one, cost driver machine hour. Cost allocation rate is $26. So how many machine hours did they use? They used 1.25 for each unit. They have 100 units, so same thing. 1.25 hours per unit. And their rate is $26 per hour. That gives us 3250. Okay, assembly. The cost driver is direct labor hour, and it has 1.5 direct labor hour, right? So 1.5 direct labor hour per unit. So this is really just about canceling your units and making sure you arrive at a dollar amount. What's the rate? 22 dollars per hour. Does it cancel? Yes. So we're at the right track, and that's 1200. Okay. The last one is inspection. Cost driver is number of finished goods. So how many goods did they finish? 100 unit, right? And then all we need to know is their cost allocation base, which is $12 per unit. And that gives you 1200. Am I right? Did I calculate something wrong? You guys check. Sorry, this one should be 33. Now I got everything right, I think. Yep. So they ask you the manufacturing cost per unit for the period. You just add them all up, which should give us 18,800. But they ask you the cost per unit, so divide that by 100. You will get $188 per unit. It's very simple when you do ABC. Whatever they tell you is the cost driver. Try to cancel your units out. Arrive at your dollar amount. Second part, are you guys done? Are you guys still copying? Where? Oh, this one? I don't know why I write 1.25. Oh. Sorry, it's direct labor hour. Oh, 1.5? Yeah, 1.5, my bad. Sorry, good catch, good catch. Anything else before we move on? Okay, the second one, calculate the total cost. Manufacturing and non-manufacturing per unit for the period. Okay, so we got the manufacturing part already. It's over there. All we need is the non-manufacturing. And it's basically given to us already, so we know manufacturing is 188, and then they told you the non-manufacturing part already. So they told you the research and marketing cost per unit are research and marketing cost. They told you it's 140 per unit. Yep. And they also gave you the other non-manufacturing cost per unit. So other is 320. That will be your total manufacturing and non-manufacturing cost. Should come out to 648 if you guys add it up. Awesome. Okay, the last one require a bit more thinking. What? Okay, so let's look at it. Okay, so they want to implement a target costing. So they want a certain amount of profit based on their cost. So they say under target costing, the manager needs to determine the amount of cost saving that must be achieved to earn the desired level of profit. If they must set a competitive price of $650, meaning they need to set that price, otherwise they won't be competitive in the market, so they can't go higher than that. But they also require a 10% profit based on the total cost calculated in this part. So what they're saying is my revenue minus my cost is my profit, right? So they cannot sell any higher than 650. Minus their cost, they need to make 10% of their cost. Can you guys get that from the sentence? They require a 10% profit based on total cost. So 650 minus my cost is my 10% cost. So all you have to solve is for cost. Right? There's only one variable, cost. Rearrange your equation. Your cost should be 650 divided by 110%. And that should come to 590 and 91. Yeah? Do we agree? But that's not done. They ask you how much cost saving must they generate. So our current cost, I didn't show you guys, is 648. To really achieve this target profit, they need to cut cost to this amount. So the difference between these two is the amount they have to cut. So cost saving required is the top minus the bottom, which should come out to around $57.09. Are we good? Yeah? Awesome. I guess I'm getting a private tutorial. Feel special?
Yes.
Feel special?
Yes.
Yes? A bit. Okay. So you guys want to take a time, take your minute, read the second question. I'll clean the board and we'll work on the second question together. Okay. The next one is 733. Another very simple ABC. I told you guys ABC versus traditional is very important, right? So you gotta understand the difference. They will ask you for sure on the test. Tell me the benefit of using ABC as opposed to traditional. Write something. Usually you'll get something. Okay, so this question, it tells you this cosmetic company generally use the traditional cost accounting system to allocate quality control cost uniform to all product at a rate of. So their traditional method allocate cost at 14.5% of direct labor hours. Direct labor cost, not hour. Direct labor cost. And then, so they're thinking of switching to ABC now, but just so they told us the direct labor cost is $27,500. In an attempt to more equitable distribution quality control cost, this company is considering ABC. So the following monthly data have been gathered for this makeup company. Okay, they basically told us everything. They asked us to calculate their quality control cost using ABC method. A, B, C. Your exam won't be this easy. They won't tell you everything, but in this case, they told you everything. So basically, there's 3 different costs in terms of our quality control cost. There's incoming material inspection. I'll call it inspection. There's also in process. Okay, they're all inspection. Never mind. I'll say this is in process. And the last one is product certification. So product certification. So they're asking you ABC, and they give you all these numbers. So basically, it's your cost driver times whatever they gave you. So for the first one, type of material, $11 per type of material. Quantity, 12 types of material. If you guys read this, time them out, that will give you the cost, right? Told you guys it's all about canceling your unit sometimes. If your unit canceled, oh, maybe it worked. So 12 types times, they gave us $11 per type, $11.50 per type. Right? The second one, same thing. They gave you the cost driver. It's number of units. They told you the unit already, 17,500 units. And they told you the cost allocation rate is 14 cents per unit. So 14 cents per unit. Yeah, my unit canceled out again, so that worked. Last one, they told you the cost allocation rate is $77 per order. The quantity of order is 25. All you do is 25 orders times the 77. Yep, $77 per order. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh my god, what happened to my nails? So the first one, 138. Second one, 11,450. 2,450. Last one, 55. 25. Awesome. I don't have to go back and look. So total quality control cost is you add them together, which I'm sure you guys can do. Comes out to 13. Yes. But then they ask you per order. So how do we find that? Divided by 25 orders, yes. Which should give you, so this divided by 25 should give you somewhere around 180.52. That's the first part. Very easy. They give you everything, multiply them, you get it. Second part, quality control cost per order using traditional cost accounting. So I told you guys traditional cost accounting is 14.5% of the direct labor cost, which is basically times them together. You'll get a number of 3,000. Yes. And then you divide that by the number of orders we have, which is, because they ask you per order, right? So you always divide it by the order. Divide by 25 orders. Yes. You guys get the same thing? Okay. Since you guys got it, we can move on now. So explain the difference in quality control costs assigned under the tube method. This will be something similar to what they ask you on exam. What we've done in part A usually won't be that easy. So what's the benefit? Should I just read it to you guys? So one benefit is that we basically broke down your costs into something that's more specific towards what we're doing. So it's more accurate in a way. But under traditional cost accounting, direct labor hours may be related to the number of units we inspect. It may not be, so it might not be as accurate. So in general, always just say something like ABC system provides more accurate cost for quality control. ABC system provides more accurate cost for quality control. Okay, we're moving on fast. 42. This one's a bit longer, but they're all the same. All the same. Okay, I'm gonna write it over here. I'm gonna write on that side. So, this company manufacturing kits for fish ponds. The manager recently set up an ABC system to identify and reduce non-value added activities. The ABC system includes the following cost pools: cost driver and estimated cost for manufacturing activity. So they gave you a bunch of activity. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 activity. They gave you the cost driver, gave you the cost allocation rate. The only thing different this time is they mentioned the company manufacturing 10 kits per batch. They also told us each kit required 20 parts. So 20 parts per kit. In addition, they also mentioned requires 2 hours in molding per kit. And each weight 30 kilograms. So 30 kilogram per kit. Okay. So how do we do this? Okay. So the first is material handling. I'm going to just write A, B, C, D, E, okay? You guys will understand what's going on, right? A, B, C, D, E. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. F, G. Okay. The first one, material handling. So the cost driver is number of parts. Okay, so what we're looking for. So ABC per batch. So this is per batch. They want to find it at the batch level. The first cost driver is number of parts. So parts. And we know it's $1 per part. How many parts for a kit? Over there, 20 part per kit and 10 kit per batch. Okay, because we're looking for the ABC cost per batch, you're always going to come up with a dollar sign per batch. So basically, you write down whatever information they provide for you. Look for what's given. You can cancel them out into dollar. I shouldn't have it over here. Dollar per batch, then you're right. So $1 per part, 20 part per kit, 10 kit per batch, then you should have your dollar per batch. Right? Okay. The second part, what's their cost driver? Molding hours. So that's okay. So their cost is $40 per Tolling hour. We're looking for what? Dollar per batch, right? Dollar per batch. How do we get that? Oh, over here, there's something related to the hours, right? So 2 hours per kit. Once again, 10 kit per batch. Simple, right? Are we moving along okay? Okay, next one. I'm not going to calculate it for you. It's easy. I'll fill it in later. But next one. Okay. Setup. So it's number of batches. It says it's $50 per batch. Do we even have to calculate that? So that's just $50 per batch, right? Next one, weight. So it's 130 per kilogram. Okay, look for those given numbers again. We see this. 30 kilogram for kit and 10 kit for batch, right? Do we cancel out our unit? Yes, we do. We're left with dollar per batch. CD, so E. Inspection. It's about finished kit. So it's $10 per kit. And we know how many kit in a batch? 10, right? That should give you 100. Next one, direct labor. It's also by finished kit, so it's $20 per kit. And then it's 10 kit per batch again. That should give you 200. You guys want to know. Okay, the last one, also finished kit, direct material. $100 per kit, 10 kit per batch. Doing repetitive exercise over and over and over again so you guys will remember. Okay, so I'm going to read it off to you guys. For the first one, you should get 200 per batch. That we just got. Second one, 800 per batch. Third one, 50 per batch. Fourth one, 390 per batch. The sixth one, 100 per batch. Last one, 200 per batch. No, actually no. There's one more, 1,000 per batch. You add them together, should give you 2,740. Yeah. Okay, good. We got that. That's your ABC per batch. Wasn't hard. They ask you, oh, this is even easier. Calculate the total ABC cost per finished kit. So if my cost per batch is, what was it again, 2,740, then my cost per kit would be 274 because there's 10 kit in the batch. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, third part. Suppose the manager wants to allocate marketing costs and customer service to each product. Total marketing costs for the period were $15,000 and customer service costs were $25,000. The number of batches produced was 1,000. Calculate the total ABC cost per unit and cost per kit, including the cost of marketing and customer service. Okay, that was so long, but it was not necessary. Basically, they're saying, if I can grab a chalk. So they're saying right now, we only have the total cost. What do they call the cost? The total cost of manufacturing activity. So manufacturing cost. Now they want to also allocate marketing cost and customer service cost. Marketing and customer service. So we know per kit, per batch, total, manufacturing cost was $2,740 per batch, $274 per kit. Marketing cost, the total is $15,000, but they produced 1,000 batch. So the per batch cost will be $15, right? Right? Okay, yeah? So per batch, my marketing is $15. That means my per kit is 1.5. Customer service, $25,000, produce 1,000 batch. That means my cost per batch was $25. My customer service was 2.5 per kit. You add them together, should give you 2,780 or 278. Right? That's all the calculation we're doing today. Seems easy, right? All you do is cancel units. But exam won't be as easy, but remember, cancel units. Whatever they're asking you, per batch, per kit, they will, maybe there's per part too. Parts, kits, batch, But know what they're asking, make sure you add them correctly. You do not add kit with batch. Doesn't add up, right? Okay. D, are the activities listed likely to be only possible setup activity for this company? Why or why not? So they listed 7 different activities, right? Of course, these are not the only one that could be listed. They could be, separating out. For example, there's packaging and shipping. Maybe they can be separated into packaging activity and shipping activity. So, you can always further separate your activity into smaller units to make it more accurate. But that will also mean that you will need more time to calculate these and to track these. So for company, you got to do your cost-benefit analysis, seeing if it's necessary to separate them out sometimes. Maybe it's not necessary, then you just keep them together. So you can definitely separate it out, and there are other activities that can be listed, but it might not be beneficial, depending on how you argue for it. Last question. Describe how the manager and accountant of this company might use the new ABC system to identify non-value added activity. So they've separated out into these 7 different activities already for you. Will this separation help manager identify, the non-value added part and save costs? Of course it would. For example, if you look at it, they say there's 20 parts per kit, and then each part costs $1. Can we maybe reduce the amount of parts that we'll be producing? Maybe instead of 20 parts per kit, we only produce 10 parts per kit and put them together. That will save the material handling costs, right? So when they separate these costs into different activities, it's really also a way for them to track what's efficient and what's inefficient and how can we reduce costs in that way, if that makes sense. It is a tedious process sometimes that you're separating into different cost drivers, finding the cost allocation rate, but at the same time, it really helps companies to see where's the majority of the cost and how can they reduce it. For example, if we look at this, manufacturing cost is a lot more than marketing and customer service, right? This is not even material for us, so we should focus on this and see how we can, break it down, which part we can, further reduce to reduce the cost to make more profit, or just stay competitive in the market because everyone's trying to reduce costs nowadays. You gotta reduce your selling price in order to make a profit. That's it for today's tutorial. We're done.